Hey guys, it's Snarky Lisa, and today I am going to talk about how Mickey Mouse just entered the public domain this year. Well, sort of. Specifically, a very early version of Mickey Mouse called Steamboat Willie, published in 1928, entered the public domain this year. Now, I know I've just made a video on something Disney related, and this might come off as fairly repetitive. However, I promise new content is on the way that is not Disney related at all. It's just that this is a huge event due to how influential Disney has been in animation in the past. Even if their quality is now just Anyways, if you like this type of analysis type content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe leave a comment as well. It will really help the algorithm find my channel. So, what the hell is happening here? Firstly, let me explain how the public domain works in America. Generally, when people publish their creative works, they copyright them. This prevents unauthorized people from making a buck off your work and thus allows you to make more money. But there is a catch. About 95 years after your work is published, if you don't do all those proper protections, your copyright will expire, and thus, your work enters the public domain, especially if you die, like Walt Disney did. This means that anyone can now profit off your work. Now, let's examine Disney's specific situation right now. Whatever happened to the mouse? Steamboat Willie is the earliest main iteration of Disney's iconic character, Mickey Mouse. It came out in 1928. It is in black and white and is not a feature-length film. On January 1st, 2024, the copyright to that expired. Thus, Mickey Mouse entered the public domain. Well, kind of. You see, the business masterminds behind Disney are not dumb. Unless you're counting the fact that Wish's soundtrack exists, like it does. But anyways, the Disney administration knew that such a thing with Mickey Mouse was going to happen one day. As a result, they made sure that Mickey Mouse the character changed enough over the years so that by the time Steamboat Willie entered the public domain, only that black and white iteration of Steamboat Willie, aka Mickey Mouse, will have entered the public domain. Not all the other evolved versions of Mickey Mouse. Most people tend to prefer the colored version of Mickey Mouse, so for the most part this works. Also, Disney has still been trying to copyright strike Steamboat Willie videos that are intended to be monetized and not fair use, so yeah. I imagine if Disney continues to exist and doesn't get dumb, they will continue to update Mickey Mouse further and further, so that way Mickey Mouse will never truly enter the public domain. But this hasn't stopped everyone from trying. At the first Mickey Mouse is in the public domain, what are people doing with it to make money? Let's find out, shall we? The movies, the media, and the merch. First of all, people have made fan art of Mickey Mouse that has been allowed even before Steamboat Willie came into the public domain thanks to fair use laws. To be fair though, it's easier to not get striked now since it's in the public domain now. In a similar category, as I've mentioned before, people have made videos of Steamboat Willie on YouTube now, a lot of which were, again, theoretically allowed under fair use even before this whole public domain thing, but it's easier to not get striked now, even though Disney is still trying to strike people. Secondly, people have been making merchandise of Mickey Mouse that definitely would not be allowed if Steamboat Willie wasn't in the public domain. I'm talking about stuff like mugs, clothing, etc. with Steamboat Willie on it. Finally, people outside of Disney have now been able to use Mickey Mouse, or at least the Steamboat Willie black and white version of it, in film and television. Some have used it as a simple mascot or comedy skit in a TV show, but Others have resorted to making full-on feature-length movies based on Steamboat Willie. This includes, as I might have mentioned at the beginning, horror movies, that's plural, as multiple films of the horror genre are being made around Mickey Mouse. I'm not sure what the MPAA rating will be for those, but it's definitely not going to be something that Disney would make. This has also rather predictably led to complaints from the moral guardians. Thank goodness, it's 2024 now. If it was like 10 years ago, or maybe even 8 years ago, people would have been up in arms about this being an Elsa Gate related thing. I'm sure maybe there could be other uses, but what are my final thoughts on this? Final thoughts. Honestly, I think the fact that Disney is still trying to copyright strike people that are using Steamboat Willie even now that Steamboat Willie has entered the public domain goes to highlight how very, very, very protective Disney is over their properties. And like, do they honestly think that this would work in the long run? Rules are rules after all, and that includes public domain law. The moral guardians can also scream and shout all they want, but in the end, Steamboat Willie is in the public domain. People can do whatever they want. I don't support pro-shipping or lolly, by the way. That is it for today. I have honestly been going through a lot of stress lately. That's why my posting schedule has not been very consistent. If you look at my Twitter, you may be able to discern some of the reason why. But the past is the past, I guess. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Take care, and Snarky Lisa out.